Today we're going for 40 minutes. I think we can do it. I'm at 38, 28, 29, 30. This evening's delightful dinner is some corn. I love corn. And some just lightly breaded nuggets and some pickled beets. Yum, yum, yum. I had an iced coffee earlier in a protein shake, so I guess it was a profi. Yeah, that's what we call them. I'm working on this fourth one now. I got really wrapped up in my diamond painting and also watching Relative Race on YouTube. So, yeah, this is the one I'm working on. I've gotten to the second color, which are those blue colors. I just love these combinations. Hey y'all, hey, it's Patty with Giddy Things. How are you? We're here for day 116 of our 5-minute in name only exercise encouragement. Oh my goodness. I hope that everyone has had just a fantastic day. I am in some interesting lighting because I am working on my diamond painting and I didn't want to turn on the big light, as we call it here in the South. Have y'all heard that before? The big light, sometimes the top light, but most of the time the big light. So I have on my bedside lamp and then also the little ambiance light that comes from my clock. I have a sunrise clock and I haven't really used it as an alarm, but I love the light that comes from it. Who knows? I might try to use it as an alarm. Typically, my alarm clock is the disembodied voice waking me up. He's a really early riser. The handy helper and I are night owls. Let's be quite honest. The big brother is too, but he hasn't had much of a chance to figure out in adulthood what his natural circadian rhythms would be, because his adult life, he has had a lot of jobs that were at odd hours. And so that's something he deals with. He's a cameraman now and a photojournalist, and so he has an opportunity to have a different schedule, but it is an odd hours kind of schedule. So anyway, we've got some owls and then we have that one eagle at dawn, and it's so funny. I'll probably talk about this a little bit more on the podcast that's coming up as soon as we get the studio podcasting equipment set up. The wonderful Ichua Banana, Tales from My Family. But my daddy used to say to me and my mama, because my mama and I were both night owls, he and my sister were AM eagles, and my brothers and my mom and I were all the night owls. And he used to say that he could sense our talons grasping the branches to roost at a certain time at night because we were all getting kind of, woo, it's nighttime and we can just, burn the midnight oil. My mother really didn't. She didn't get a lot of sleep. Mama couldn't really sleep more than about 5 hours in a row without waking up. Once I get to sleep, I have no problem. Sometimes staying asleep isn't, because of chronic pain, isn't all that easy, but I have no problem embracing sleep once we manage to get me there. So all of that to say that my daddy would say, if you hoot with the owls at night, you cannot soar with the eagles at dawn. And we used to just crack up and think that was hysterically funny. But those are good memories. But the bottom line on today is that I did get up a little later than I intended, but I got a lot of work done. I went right to work. I'm teaching online classes this summer that don't have a synchronous component. And so I was able to get all my students' class-related needs met and to do some wonderful work on a committee I work with. It's a volunteer committee. It's not something that's required of my job, but it has to do with awarding scholarships. And it is one of my favorite work activities to do because it's so neat to see people's dreams come true. It's really, really cool. And I'm involved in the paperwork behind all of it and the logistics and the strategy of giving the scholarships. And then when the scholarships actually are awarded, I get an opportunity to see those students featured in our newsletters and then often in our forward-facing public relations for the college. And that is so rewarding and exciting, and it just brings you lots of joy and excitement about their futures and seeing where they go. It's such a wonderful job to have, to be a teacher of any kind. It's hard. It's really hard, but the rewards are so great that, it's a good hard. It's a good difficult, because you can really see what's happening. You get to see what's produced from what you do in people's lives. And what a privilege. What a privilege. So blessed. So, what did I have to eat today? Y'all, I don't even half remember. I had a lean cuisine lasagna at one point. I want some watermelon. We have another half a watermelon, but I probably won't have it tonight because, um, it doesn't necessarily go hand in hand with peaceful sleep. I'll probably end up reading a little bit more tonight of what the disembodied voice actually had such a good idea last night. It was like, read some Little House on the Prairie. I have read the Little House on the Prairie books for so long, probably since I was 6 or 7 years old, 7 probably properly, and I just read them over and over again. So last night I restarted on the banks of Plum Creek, and as is typical for me, Laura Ingalls Wilder, as is typical for me, I almost stayed up reading a book I know like the back of my hand because it was just so good. And I got 65% of the way through, and I thought I was getting a cold because I got really stopped up. It was just allergies, I think, and our histamine reaction. And I was like, I have got to go to sleep. I'm sleepy. I was fighting to keep my eyes open, y'all, but that's just what we do. That's what night people and people with attention differences sometimes do. So today I got a bunch of stuff done. I got to hang out in the studio with the love of my life, the disembodied voice, who's just walked into, to you too, just walked into the room. I don't just say that because he's walked in the room. Y'all know I talk really, I say great things about him all the time because, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. So I know, right? So when we got to spend all that time together, he's so sweet and serves me with the food and goes and gets things for me as I need it. He was working on some music stuff and tinkering around with some software, and I was doing all the stuff that I said from class, discussion posts and getting people ready to do their essays and things. So that's really fantastic. Then I exercised on the peddler. I thought I was going to do 30 minutes, right? And I ended up getting to 31, and I was like, you know what? I might as well do 40. Now, by the time I got to 40, I did not want to do over 40 minutes. But it was fantastic to get the privilege of doing that. I hope that you are so well. I hope that you know how loved you are. I certainly love you so much. And I wouldn't say it every single day if I didn't mean it. So please do go in peace and love with me to serve others. And please do pray for Texas and for Ukraine.